Liverpool's Tony Bellew, another hard and long training camp is complete. Undisputed world cruiserweight champion Oleksandr Usyk has ticked every box in his preparation. Now it is time for both men to perform and history to be made.
Boxing is all about timing, taking the right opportunities at the right time. No matter what he says, he will be shocked by me. I'm going up against the monster, the man who no one really wants to fight.
I'm not monster. I'm White Rabbit.
Just one wrong step, one wrong maneuver, and it's over.
Hello, welcome to JD Ringside. Johnny, it's your old division that is getting all the attention this weekend.
It's about time the sun shone on the cruiserweight division. We need stars, we need big fights, we've got it.
Absolutely. I'm delighted to say as well today, we're joined by two men with plenty of big fight experience. And Carl, you know better than anyone that the Manchester Arena, there's no atmosphere like it there, is there?
Oh, it's an amazing atmosphere. I got a good reception, then I got a bit of a bad reception when I left. It was the first Groves
We're
fight.
going to glaze over that one.
But this place, the Manchester Arena, is a fantastic venue for the atmosphere, because it's like 20,000, and you've got obviously got the roof on, and the noise just comes back, and the passionate crowd, the Manchester crowd, are very knowledgeable. So I'm looking forward to a really exciting night.
Matt, you boxed there 5 times. It seems some special nights, hasn't it?
Yeah, some personal great nights for me boxing here, but also being a part of Billy Graham's stable, Ricky Hatton camp. They were the special times. I mean, the night he fought Costa Sue here, I remember walking down to the arena from Manchester City Centre. The show started at 11 at night. They fought at 4 in the morning, and there was just something special in the air that night. But this arena has seen some of the best nights in British boxing, even back to the days of, I think, Ben and Collins and all of those fights. Some great ones.
Can't wait. Right, well, Andy Scott has caught up with both Usyk and Bellew after the weigh-in.
Well, the bomber weighed in at 14 stone, 3 pounds 5 ounces. Tony, a lot was made about the weight. Did you make it well?
Absolutely fine. No problems at all. I had breakfast this morning, bit of scrambled egg. I had 3 meals yesterday, 2 protein shakes, 2 litres of water. Everything's gone perfectly.
What did you see when you looked into his eyes? Did you see a man that was confident?
Может быть, maybe this should be a secret, but of course I saw he was nervous a little bit because he was talking, he was moving, but maybe that's what he needs to do.
I have an immense amount of respect for him, but he has to understand what I expect of him tomorrow. I expect him to be willing to go to war. And I'm not going to say some of the things I would usually say, but, you know, the people get the message. This fight's going to a dark place, and I'm prepared for it. I just hope he is as well.
You respect him, but you don't fear him?
Of course, I have massive respect for him. Nothing but respect. But tomorrow, you see, he looks, he sees.
If we get our cameraman to turn around.
He sees. He's everywhere. You can't help but laugh. He is everywhere, so he is not invisible. That is the most important thing. So tomorrow, I laugh, but mate, I'm in the zone.
Well, we won't keep you any longer. Thank you, and wish you all the best of luck in your last one ever.
Thank you very much.
Fun and games are in full flow, aren't they? Usyk, he's quite a character. doing all that, playing around with the interview after Tony Bellew, and also coming out on stage after they both weighed in with a Man City scarf. And Tony as well, he's enjoying it, isn't he? Both of them seem incredibly relaxed.
Yeah, well, I think this is his last dance, isn't it? So why not enjoy it? He's achieved everything he wanted to achieve in his career. He's secured his, family's future financially. This fight came about. This was like the bonus fight. He gets the challenge for all the belts, undisputed champion. I think Tony feels he's in a no-lose situation. All the pressure's on Usyk, he's here. But inside, he knows he really wants to do that win. He wants to show that he's more than just a slugger. I think he's going to come out and box. I really do. Things he was saying yesterday at the fighters meeting, I just thought, you're talking war, but you're going to be clever. You're going to come out and be crafty.
How did they look to you? Both have made weight. Usyk 14 stone 2, Tony Bellew 14 stone 3-5. We even saw a few abs, I think, on Tony Bellew, didn't we?
We did, yeah. I mean, you don't often see Tony Bellew. He's quite fleshy. He's not one of them ripped fighters physically. But we talk about the confidence, and Usyk, I mean, you see him messing around and having just like showboating and playing around. You see him dancing in the whole build-up to this. He's just so confident.
Well, he was before this as well.
No, exactly. So, to me, that's a dangerous man, because that's a guy that doesn't really care less what people think. He's very matter-of-fact about what he does, and he has a laugh and a joke. And you mentioned about the pressure. I don't think he's feeling the pressure at all. I've not seen anything that showed him pressure. He's just full of confidence and self-belief, and rightly so.
Do you not think that weight-wise for Tony, it's just the first time he's had to watch weight since moving up from light heavyweight? That's all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, light heavyweight was dangerous for Tony. You see him against Adonis Stevenson. He got clipped and he was hurt. Straight away, his legs were gone. His eyes were spaced out. He didn't give up in that fight, but physically he caved in. That's light heavyweight. He's a cruiserweight. He's not a heavyweight. He's boxed a couple of times at heavyweight, not proper heavyweight. He fought David Hay, who was a cruiserweight.
He's been around 210, 230.
Exactly. So doing cruiserweight which is where I'm getting, isn't a problem for Tony Bellew. He's a natural cruiserweight. He's back at where he belongs. So I'm expecting the best, but I think it will be the last of Tony Bellew.
Well, talking of heavyweight, one man that cannot wait for the first bell to go on Saturday night is the big man himself, Anthony Joshua.
I rate Bellew highly. I rate all the British boxers highly, and they're all stepping up to the plate. It's a fight that's credible. And I respect Bellew, because after that David Hay fight, it was a question, is he going to retire or is he going to carry on? If he was going to carry on, he could have maybe gone a different route, but he's gone to fight the best. So he's going to lose weight, put himself through a grueling training camp and bring them titles back home. So good luck to Bellew, we're rooting for you. Usyk's really like a perfect boxer. So I hope Bellew's working on his counter punches as well, because that's the way to knock him out, I think, is just kind of let him tippy-tap and get in his rhythm, then just kind of explode. So as we've seen, Bellew can counter punch and he's got a dirty left hook on him. If I'm honest with you, Usyk is the favourite. Straight talking, because he's a champion and he's done it at cruiserweight and he's undisputed. But the thing with boxing from middleweight up, it takes one punch.
Carl, Usyk's team have AJ firmly in their sights, but is there a danger, do you think, that they could be overlooking Tony?
I think it's worth pointing out there could be a bit of a danger that he's taking one eye off Tony Bellew, because it's hard not to, because that's sort of having the eye on the prize. But this is a big fight for him. It's a very important fight that he has to win for that to happen. So that's extra motivation. Usyk doesn't strike me as a person that's distracted or takes anything for granted. He seems to be the consummate professional. He acts and goats about. He does his little dancing, and he's quite funny to be around. But that's his confidence. But I don't think he'll be too concerned about potentially fulfilling the Anthony Joshua fight, because I think that's 18 months, 2 years away anyway. Well, so no danger there, I don't think.
I'll ask you, Mike. Do you think he could, if he came through Saturday, could he compete with the big boys?
I think he could, yeah. I mean, he was a heavyweight Olympic gold medalist. He's a big guy, and I don't think his assets isn't really his physical strength or his punch power. It's his movement, it's his skills, and if anything, boxing bigger, heavier guys that might have a physical advantage on
Baby
you.
Millers,
but he has the movement. Yeah, but he fought Joe Joyce in the amateurs. They call him the Juggernaut. I mean, he's a beast. He's like a bear, isn't he, Joe Joyce?
Very big.
He outboxed him easily, really, in London. So I think that he's going up against the bigger guys. He'll have even more of an advantage in speed and mobility, etc.
All right, okay. Right, after the break, we will turn our attention to the undercard. We have the return of a local hero, the clash of two unbeatens, plus one of British boxing's brightest stars.
Sugar Ray Leonard. He was really a superstar of that generation, and yeah, to this day, still my idol. I think Joshua Klitschko is probably my favourite fight of all time. But when I was much younger, there was a fight between Michael Brodie and Injin Chi for the WBC title at the GMEX Centre in Manchester. That was probably the best fight I've ever seen live. Gennady Golovkin against Marvin Hagler. That would be a fight I would love to see. Don't know, because the problem is I'm a heavyweight, but I'll get killed against any heavyweight in the world. So if I could go for a flyweight, perhaps, that would be nice. I liked Meldrick Taylor. I mean, he wasn't the greatest of all time, but I just like, if you want me to choose the greatest of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson. But you know, growing up, there's plenty of fighters like Meldrick Taylor that I like watching. Pernell Whitaker was a great tactician as well.
Welcome back to JD Ringside. Promoter Eddie Hearn will be looking to secure Anthony Corolla another world title shot next year. Andy Scott caught up with $1 Million ahead of his fight on Saturday night, along with the latest world champion from the Gallagher gym, Callum Smith.
Well, just over a year since the man on my shoulder here, Anthony $1 Million Corolla, boxed at his favourite Manchester arena, and Corolla just must be so good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to be back and in another big fight and on a great card as well. I can't wait to get in there tomorrow night now.
And that carrot of a WBA final eliminator, the winner should go on to box Vasyl Lomachenko. Just how much of a motivating factor is that?
It's a massive carrot. Listen, the fight alone against Dow Jordan on this kind of bill in my hometown is a big enough one, but that just adds to it. And like you say, this time, tomorrow night, come through this, have the biggest challenge of all, but all I'm focused on is tomorrow night for now.
Callum Smith, newest world champion in the gym. It just must be such a buzz, confidence breed confidence. Are you confident that this man's going to win on the weekend?
Yeah, definitely. No, like you said there, it's a tough fight. It's people see it as Anthony Corolla on an undercard and think he's keeping busy and taking over, and it's a tough fight, and there's a lot at stake. As you said, with potential fight with Lomachenko, but he always trains well. He's always in very good shape. He lives a good life, and he's been performing very well in the gym, and he seems to be getting better with age. And I'm sure he's looking to put in a big performance in front of his own fans.
Callum, congratulations on your win, and Anthony, best of luck for tomorrow night.
Thank you. Nice one.
Carl, at this stage of his career, can Anthony Corolla become world champion again?
You know what? Why not? I mean, Lomachenko's talking about moving up a weight, and I'm not just going to say Anthony Corolla can't beat Lomachenko. Nobody can at the minute. I mean, he's that good. So for a vacant world title, provided the desire is still there for Corolla, which it appears to be, he's training hard in the Gallagher gym. He's looking really ripped. He's looking in great shape, and he's got that desire to become a world champion. So if you can come through this one in style, then if there's a vacant title to be had, then that's a massive goal and it'd be a massive achievement if you can do it. I think you can still go for it, I really do.
Well, picking up from what Carl just said there about having the hunger and the desire, he turned pro 12 years ago at the Manchester Arena. He does look like he's kind of in the form of his life, doesn't he, Matt?
Yeah, I said earlier to someone that he's like the Ryan Giggs of boxing, because he's just always lived a life. He's never blown up in weight. He's never been out of the gym for long.
But he's upped his training.
Yeah, but I think he's adjusted his training. Sometimes a change is as good as a rest. He's looked at how he's trained. When you get older, you can still train hard, but you just have to alter things a little bit.
You cut corners a little bit,
cut
can't
back
you?
on sparring.
Yeah.
You don't need to spar as many rounds. Maybe don't need the long runs. Maybe do more sprints and stuff. But I think he's adjusted his training and it's freshened things up. And like I say, he's always lived the life. He's got great longevity, and he's getting the results now.
Well, wishing the best of luck on Saturday night. It's been a tough week for trainer Adam Booth after a freak injury cost Ryan Bennett's world title. He'll be hoping, though, for better luck this weekend with fighter Josh Kelly.
Well, it's all been happening for Josh Kelly, of course, Young Boxer of the Year, voted for a few weeks ago. A wonderful night in London. Also, a dad now, a week in. How's that been? And are you ready and prepared for what happens Saturday night?
I'm always ready and prepared. The dad situation, I feel blessed. I feel as though it's given us an extra little bit push, even though it's only been a week. So I feel as though everything's come at the right time, and I'm flying, to say the least.
It's a huge bill to be on. You've got your own work cut out, of course, against this Argentinian, Walter Castillo. What do you know about him, and what do you want to showcase here in Manchester?
We've been working on lots of different things in the gym, so I'd like to pull off a few things we've been doing in the gym. I know he's a tough Argentinian, and I know he'll come for 10 rounds, and he hasn't been stopped, so he's going to be there hopefully for the duration of the fight, but I'm going to be trying to step on him and up the pace, so it's going to be good.
Adam alongside you, as always. Got to ask you about Ryan Burnett, though. Awful last weekend. How is he, and how's the team?
Well, he's gutted, obviously, right? He's lost his belt, but he didn't lose a fight. And it's just one of the things that can happen in sport, not just boxing. This is sport, and obviously watching, I've been through injury scenarios before with fighters, and to see him go through it the first time, knowing about what he has, the fire inside him, I really feel for him. But he will be back. He's improving all the time. I was gutted that he didn't get to show what he could do, because I thought he was boxing beautifully and he was going to pick it up in the second half of the fight. But this is his story. This is all part of his journey, and everything will show out in the end.
And quickly, what do we expect from Josh tomorrow night?
So expect to see the things that he's adding to his game day in, day out, and I expect nothing less.
Wish you boys well. Should be exciting. A great addition to a fantastic night.
It's been quite the year, isn't it, for Josh Kelly? He became a father a week ago. He looks pretty well for it, considering he's a week-old new dad. And also Boxing Writer's Young Fighter of the Year. And in terms of fighting, he seems to just be getting better and better.
Certainly, he's looking good. He's looking very sharp. A bit of criticism. It looks great. I mean, people say Insta-famous these days. He's looking good on Instagram. He's looking good on the pads. Adam Booth's on the pads with him. But I want to see him personally fight somebody that's going to give him a bit of a test and see if he can put it all together on fight night. But he's unbeaten, he's rising, and I believe he might get there. But
almost sounding old school, Carl.
Exactly, yeah. Well, I don't want to get too excited too early, because it's kind of easy to look good early on in your career. You know, he's taking it to that next level, and that's certainly where he's headed.
Sam Hyde and Richard Riakpo, they're fighting this weekend as well. It seems to have got the attention.
Yeah, I think it's a great fight. You know, two unbeaten fighters in a good domestic division. You know, Lawrence Okoli is the domestic champion, the British champion. You know, an Olympian as well, and he's been on some big cards. He's obviously got a good profile, but I think the winner here can certainly look towards challenging him.
I wish him the best of luck on Saturday. Right, we've sent Paulie Malignaggi to catch up with an old friend to talk tactics.
So I've caught up with my good friend and ex-foe, Ricky Hatton, to talk this weekend's fights and some tactics.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Keep the fight clean, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, touch up.
Oleksandr Usyk, terrific fundamentals, terrific balance. His feet never cross. You're going to see he moves back, he moves forward, he moves to the side. Perfect distance between his feet, which means he can get proper leverage when he shoots, and he can also punch no matter where he's going. His lead hand, very dominant. Looks to dominate you with the lead hand. And if he can take away your lead hand, he can set his offense up above it. He also uses this rhythm, this dynamic rhythm with his feet. He'll feint, he'll drop feints, he'll get you to react, and then he'll come in and shoot.
We could talk about tactics, and I think it's pretty clear what tactics he's got to use, but the one thing that Tony's got to use to his effect is Tony Bellew has unbelievable self-belief, and I had to use it the same night, all them years ago back in Manchester when I fought Kostya Tszyu. Nobody gave me a chance, and I saw something against Kostya Tszyu that, you know, that nobody else saw, and I think Tony, the way he's talking in the build-up, he looks like he saw something, and that's what we can never write Tony Bellew on.
Very much on the front foot. Bellew does go on the hook. McCarvey backing up. Bellew's going for it. What's McCarvey got? He's in trouble. He stopped. Bellew's done it. Goodison Park goes for Zach.
Tony Bellew, we all know he's looking for the big left hook. And Usyk also knows this. So although most of the time the southpaw is looking to move to his own right, to the left of the right-hander, I can see Oleksandr Usyk moving the opposite way many times just to get away from Tony Bellew's left hook. So many times, because Usyk may be moving this way, the way to get him to move the other way is to use the right hand. Now, you may think a straight right hand would work, but you think a little bit of a looping right hand will almost force Usyk this way. And then you force him this way, and you can move him into leverage for the left hook. Bellew needs to set up this left hook if he's going to be successful.
Oh, beautiful shot, and that looked to finisher from Tony Bellew.
Carl and Matt, you both fought some recent top 10 pound-for-pound greats. Andre Ward, Sergio Martinez, Gennady Golovkin, just to name a few. But how hard is it? How many game plans do you need to have when you're fighting the best of the best?
I never used to really have a game plan as such, like plan A, plan B, plan C, because they can go wrong. And if you're thinking, hang on, I'm trying this and it's not working, I just let the fight evolve. So you're trying to hit your opponent and not get hit. But it's important to be able to have a box on your back foot or close the distance when you have to and try and make the fight messy and try and land some power punches. But when you're fighting top fighters, they adjust with you as well and do what they have to do to win. And Fortunately for me, I came up against one of the greatest, Andre Ward, at moving and holding and making it tricky and messy. I could never get hold of him. And in Matt's case, Golovkin, big puncher.
Well, Golovkin, my plan was to see if I can box early on, and if not, I can go to war. But of course, I didn't get to go to war because I was took out of there in 3 rounds. But with Martinez, I was had a good game plan. He expected me to come forward, be aggressive, throw a lot of body punches. But I didn't do that. I sat on the back foot. I showed lots of head movement, lots of feints. My jab was good. I made him reach. And it took him a while to work me out. So, yeah, it's important to, like Carl said, have a few different, be able to go in between different game plans and give him a different look, because good fighters start to work you out.
You know what's coming now. It's crunch time. I want your predictions. No sitting on the fence. One word.
Wow, hard
Johnny.
head. I'm going Usyk.
Usyk.
Tony Bellew.
Usyk.
Ooh. Not long to find out, is there? There's only one way to watch, though. Sky customers should go to channel 491 or box office to book this event. For more information on all the ways to watch, go to skysports.com/Bellew. Cable customers should contact their operator. Right, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you, guys. We shall see you all on fight night. Obviously, it's very important, Johnny, that we remain impartial. May the best man win.
My thoughts exactly. Come on, Tony. That's impartial.
Красивый, да, Тони? Beautiful. Yeah.
It'll be mine soon. Soon enough.
Yeah, yeah.
This is fight very good for history.
He's got that one-punch power.
Usyk
is ultra.
Usyk is phenomenal. The guy's incredible.
You have to give this man respect for saying, let's have
never write off Tony Bellew.
You name them, and I just keep beating them.
Sky Sports. Feel it all.